My heart bleeds for Mother England. What a joke, our country is fucked! England has fallen! We are being outbred. Slowly being replaced in our own country. Very reflective of the British culture. The UK is cooked! Wonder how it is to be conquered without any notice by the Brits. Depressing to watch this unfold. We are now the minority! This isn't good. We are meant to be an English country. They're classed as a minority. Vile name. Not surprised on the least.
Now you might be wondering what's gone on. Have the Taliban snuck into the UK and started bombing areas and claiming that they want Sharia law to be the only law in the UK? Have the immigrants started revolting and taking over homes and breaking down churches and kicking the English out of their homes and trying to take it over? What's gone on? No. The only ones that were attacking religious structures were Reform, who I gather the people that were commenting probably support. What's really happened is Mohammed was the most common name in the UK. It was found, this year. Before that it was Noah, and now it's Mohammed. And people are losing their fucking heads over it. A lot of the comments that I showed were saying stuff like, this isn't really England anymore. We're the minority now. You know what I mean? These people have come over and now the most common name is Mohammed, so we're the minority now. When realistically, in Islam, it is kind of like a good thing to name your child Muhammad, and that just means that there's more Muslims out there called Muhammad, you get me? And it's the second largest religion right now, you get me? Not far behind Christianity. So if loads of Muslims are having children and they're called Muhammad, then naturally there's gonna be way more Muhammads, you get me? Whereas Christians in this country, or just English people in this country, just have different types of names, Oliver, Noah, and they don't really have any reason to name one type of child, one name. They have more of a variety.
So let's do some basic maths. We have 10,000 Brits. Of the 10,000, 6.8 are Muslim or foreign descent. Since we're focusing on boys' names, we'll say every child born in this scenario are male. The 6.8% all name their children Muhammad. That's now 680 babies named Muhammad. The remaining 9,320 have no religious or cultural incentive to name their child a specific name, and so they all have various differing names. This makes Muhammad the most common name, although Muslims and quote-unquote foreigners are not the majority.
They said that they're being taken over, so let's look at the statistics. Approximately 81.4% of the population, which is the large majority, identifies as white British. 6.8% of the population is Muslim, and 2.3% is of Pakistani descent. So this takeover is fabricated. Now that we have that out of the way, I'm going to mention my main qualm, The national dish of England is chicken tikka masala, How the fuck can you get angry that the most common name now is Mohammed, but when the national dish is chicken tikka masala, you are completely fine with it? I don't get it. How can you feel like your culture is being taken over now because the most common name is Mohammed, but when the national dish of England is literally a foreign country's dish, that was completely fine? And this is also one of my main qualms. How are you saying you're being invaded and taken over, when all the countries that are coming into this country is because of the colonization that took place, where you actually went over to our countries and then colonized and took it over, and made us fight in war so we can gain our independence, and then invite us as well. The Windrush, there's something similar to that for the South Asians, I believe. The point is,
how can you with chest say that you're being invaded and you wonder how it is to be conquered without any notice by the Brits, when Britain is literally the Michael Jordan of invading people without notice? Just research India and the East India Company. How can you with chest whine and whinge and throw about the term invaded because the most common name isn't English anymore, when you committed actual atrocities that countries are still recovering from to this day, and those brutal invasions and the colonization that followed are the only reason we are here to begin with? Grow up, you absolute snowflakes.
Now, people that we're dealing with are clearly uneducated, and it is kind of our duty to educate them. So, number one, they all believe that immigrants have come in, and the reason that our country does not have enough funding for certain things like the NHS, for example, is because of the immigrants, when in reality, it's because of things like all the money poured into the preventative measures of refugees, not immigrants, because these people are actually leaving war or war-torn countries, And these preventative measures only make it harder for people to try and get into the country, because there will be still people that come into the country, but it makes it harder and it wastes resources, okay? When in reality, if they had just created a system of integrating the refugees and the immigrants that come into this country, have them working as well, then our country's economy will be much stronger. Number two, these people have been fooled by the conservatives or the far right wing, and the media, which says that immigrants are issues, that's all they say. At the same time, these are the people that you should be going for, because these people have open records. They said they would show us where our money as the public goes to, okay? And these open records have billions that is just not accounted for. It doesn't explain where it went to, okay? It's just billions have just been wanked off, okay? And we don't know where. So instead of going at these fucking poor refugees, who've just come into the country and going and fucking crying about stupid shit like, oh my God, the most common name is Mohammed now, when 81% of the fucking population are white British people, okay? You have to look at yourself and think, am I a fucking retard? Am I stupid, bro? You have to actually start attacking the right people, okay? Which is the politicians who are filling up their pockets, with all your money, okay? Fucking putting refugees' lives in danger, and putting preventative measures, and having visas way harder, or renewing your visa way harder, when instead you could reintegrate them or integrate them into the system, and have them increase and making our economy stronger, basically. It's so annoying seeing that poorer people, okay, are being targeted. People who have nothing are being targeted, whilst the people that have everything are not being targeted, and they're making you believe that the poorer people are the reason, okay? And the worst part is that these people that are getting upset and everything probably are working class, okay? And it's a class issue. It's always been a class issue. It's never been a race issue. It's never been a religious issue. Because if we look at the past of the UK media, there's always been some kind of enemy, okay? At first it was Irish. Irish people were seen as terrorists. I don't know if people remember that, Irish people were completely persecuted and violated, okay? When Yardis came, they were persecuted and violated, okay? And now it's just the Muslims' turn. It's just a cycle. Every single time will be someone new that comes in, and they will just give them the most terrible time and blame all the issues on them people, instead of just looking at the same people who've been fucking up the country since Margaret Thatcher. And the irony of what these people are saying, Mother England is dying and all that stuff. But these people don't reflect core British values. Mutual respect, treating others how you'd want to be treated.
Britain is changing. Mohammed is now the most popular boy's name in Britain for the first time. Obviously, we're not actually allowed to know what Mohammed looks like, and we certainly aren't allowed to draw our guesses on a piece of paper, so we'll leave that there. But
tolerance of other people's cultures and beliefs, democracy, rule of law, individual liberty was the last one. I had to go around for check it. But following these British values, these people are not British then. If we are actually looking at the values of the country that these people love so much, these people don't fit into that, and therefore are less British than the people that they're condemning. That's all I have to say.
So do you think it's a concern that people maybe walk outside their front door sometimes, and if you didn't actually physically know you were in Britain, you might not know?
Well, I mean, I get... Don't believe me. I'm a true liar.